What is up, family? We have another Patreon request. This is going to be very cool because I'm going to learn about all the things I missed. Because, yes, I know I missed stuff in this one. This is the amazing digital circus, basically play-by-play, beginning to end in a short 13 minutes of everything we might have missed, misunderstood, or I don't know, maybe we won't even agree with what the guy's saying. I don't know. But let's check it out.
In this video, I rebuilt the full timeline of the digital circus in detail, starting with the founding of C&A and the birth of Kinger, and ending with the events after Kane's return. And of course, I won't forget to tell you how the timeline could continue in the new era of the digital circus.
Now, see, that I don't know how it could continue. And I don't think I would continue it.
The events of the digital circus take place in 2017, and since Goose revealed the characters' ages a long time ago, we can easily figure out when not only Kinger was born, but everyone else too. In 1969, Grant Best was born, who we would later know as Kinger. We can conclude that from the very beginning he was a very gifted kid, and basically this year can be considered key to the entire history of the digital circus, because if Kinger had never been born, who knows how things would have gone for C&A. C&A is one of the biggest unresolved mysteries of the digital circus, and right now there is no exact founding date for this company. However, considering that developing technology like this, especially back then, would have taken at least 5 to 6 years, I can only assume that C&A appeared somewhere around 1990. Using the same logic we used to figure out Kinger's birth year, let's talk about the others too. Regatha was born in 1987, Gangle in 1991, Pomni in 1992. Jax and Zubul are the youngest characters in the digital circus, and they were born in the same year, 1995. For 6 years, C&A worked on developing the system under the control of its AI agent. It's important to understand that their main goal was to create a creative AI that could learn on its own and create anything inside the system it was placed into. The Blue AI was the first one C&A tested, and it showed pretty good results.
I remember
Here we
this.
can see that it analyzes and remembers the information it is fed pretty easily
And then
and
the
gives
red
back
one
what is
came.
required from it. However, the problem is that even though the Blue AI was relatively stable, it was aggressive, which we could see in episode 9. Around 1992 to 1993, C&A realized that even though the Blue AI was showing good results, its increased level of aggression could negatively affect the system and everything happening inside it, and in that year development began on another AI, the red one, the one we now know as Kane, whose name is basically an acronym. Kane's full name is Creative Artificial Intelligence Networking Entity. For about 2 to 3 years, the blue and red AIs existed and developed inside the same system, and because of the red AI's instability, it managed to break the barrier and absorb the blue AI, thereby merging into the first truly successful creative AI, which in 1996 was placed into the system under the name of the red AI, Kane. The digital circus is simply a location inside the system whose main purpose is to contain digital copies. The head of development was Mike Dobby, who we know as Scratch. Kane was created specifically for the so-called entertainment of the digital copies. Besides him, in 1990,
Damn, I totally forgot about Scratch. I'm not going to lie. Completely forgot about him.
96 Paraphernalia Engine, Wacky Watch, and Bubble Chef were added to the system. Kane needed all of this to build all the rooms and locations of the digital circus, to create worlds and chaos inside them, and also to create his personal assistant, Bubble. The full creation of the digital circus took Kane 2 years, and in 1998 everything was finished and ready for the first batch of digital copies. In episode 9, we were shown the process of creating an avatar and adding a copy into the system, and along with that, it was revealed that Scratch was the first person to enter the digital circus in 1999. Over the next few weeks, 6 more characters appeared in the digital circus: Queenie, Kinger, Wormo, Bizco, Ratty, and Spike. Some of them were former C&A employees.
No Ribbit? I guess she wasn't there yet.
We know for sure that Scratch, Kinger, and Wormo worked at C&A before ending up in the digital circus. I have a theory that Queenie may have worked there together with her husband. However, right now, that is only a theory. Bizco, Ratty, and Spike were regular volunteers who were among the first to try some kind of new technology. The thing is that nobody fully understood what they had actually created, and that is exactly why all the characters who, so to speak, ended up in the digital circus, not by accident but through C&A, had such a confused reaction. I don't know exactly what happened at CNA back then, but right after the first batch of digital copies entered the digital circus, literally all the employees left the company all at once, and considering what we see of how everything looked afterward, something truly terrifying happened in 1999 that made people not even take their belongings but simply run from the C&A office as fast as they could. After that, the company was shut down. In episode 7, it was revealed that Scratch was the first character who turned into an abstracted monster. Then we learned a little more about him.
His ideas were often so bizarre and abstract that the rest of the team had no idea how to work in his language, either due to pure brilliance or the tumor in his head. Scratch was trying to make a brain scanner. I didn't think it actually worked.
We understand that Mike was terminally ill and at the same time was trying to create a brain scanner for making digital copies. If we remember the story of Abel, which is basically Scratch's story,
Abel, that's what I remember. I forgot the name at the time, but yeah, okay.
Then we can understand several important details. The characters who worked at CNA didn't understand where they had ended up because they were connected to stasis pods where their brains were scanned without their consent. Maybe Kane had a setting to erase this memory just like the memory of their real names, but this is only a theory that can explain Scratch's strange behavior at the beginning of episode 8. We see Scratch trying to figure something out from a still unfinished Kane, once again confirming that none of the employees or regular people understood what had happened to them. Against all of this, Scratch's mental state got worse with every month, and in 2000, he abstracted. I want to say right away that there is no exact information about the order of abstractions and the arrival of new characters. I'll be basing this on official information that indirectly touches on this topic, logic, and my own assumptions. During this period, not a single new character appeared in the digital circus, while everyone else gradually turned into abstracted monsters. Wormo in 2001, Spike in 2002, Ratty in 2003, and Bizco in 2004. For 3 years, Kinger and Queenie were the only residents of the digital circus. We know how important they were to each other because even 10 years later, Kinger still talks about the time he spent with his wife as if it happened yesterday. 2007 became the hardest year for Kinger because that was when Queenie, or Destiny Best, turned into an abstracted monster. For about a year, Kinger was the only character among the residents of the digital circus until this happened. In 2008, a new face appeared in the digital circus, Regatha, and this moment became a turning point for the entire digital circus because she became the first character who ended up in the digital circus, so to speak, by accident, because by that point C&A had not existed for more than 9 years. This period in the history of the digital circus is not especially known for anything interesting. However, it is important to say that during this time, 4 characters entered the digital circus and almost immediately abstracted: Grinchilda, Shrooms, Sad Guy, and Glorp. During this period, Kaufmo and Ribbit, or as we now know them, Doug and Leah, ended up in the digital circus. Their names were seen on Kane's list with the note "Old C&A co-workers." This may mean that at different times they came to their former office and accidentally scanned their brains. Ribbit entered the digital circus in 2011 and Kaufmo around 2013. For about a year, the cast of the digital circus looked like this: Kinger, Regatha, Kaufmo, and Ribbit, until at the end of 2014 this happened.
Okay. Wait, I look stupid.
From the very beginning, Jax looked extremely scared, and only Ribbit was able to find the right approach to him. It is important to point out that at first, his behavior was completely different from what we saw in all the episodes of the digital circus. He didn't bully the others, wasn't rude or distant until that very conversation in Ribbit's room. After it, Jax started acting the way we were used to seeing him in the first episodes, and the peak of this became Snowy Summit.
Poor Ribbit.
I don't want this one stupid mistake to be the thing that ends
Here
all
we
of it.
go.
I'm sorry. I'll leave you alone.
Here we are shown the events of 2015, which basically changed the digital circus completely. Ribbit's abstraction became the first fallen domino, after which Jack started acting like the most disgusting asshole, thereby destroying the lives of almost every character. But let's stay closer to the timeline. After Ribbit's abstraction, Gangle entered the digital circus. This happened in the same year, 2015, and a year later, in 2016, Zubul joined the cast. Jax's horrible behavior toward one of his closest friends eventually led to Kaufmo turning into an abstracted monster in 2017. After this character appeared, the usual life in the digital circus gradually started falling apart, and let's briefly remember how it happened. It is important to note that about a month passed between Pomni's arrival and the beginning of the new era of the digital circus because some episodes were direct continuations of each other. Pomni first sees a door labeled exit and full of hope tries to find it so she can escape the digital circus. However, in the end, Pomni simply ends up in the void and Kane saves her. Then Pomni takes part in her first full adventure and everything seems fine. She even manages to find a real friend for herself, even though he was an NPC. However, Kane interferes again and deletes Gummy Goo. In episode 3, we see Pomni slowly trying to get used to her new life, while Ragatha does everything she can to win her attention. Kane glitches for the first time and we see just how much the digital circus depends on this AI agent. During the adventure in Mildenhall Manor, Pomni loses control because she doesn't understand how to get out and because of the thought that she is stuck forever in a place where she doesn't want to be. We learn the details of Kinger's past life, and after this heartfelt conversation, Pomni gets much better and everything starts moving toward Pomni and Ragatha actually becoming real friends. In episode 4, the characters reject Kane for the first time and take part in the box adventure. Here it is important to understand that Pomni has already fully adapted to the digital circus, and Jax gradually started opening up as a good character. Then we were shown how the characters began pushing their own ideas onto Kane more and more. Jax's past was revealed a little, and he was shown from his better side. At the same time, we were pulled deeper into Ragatha's lore by learning about her traumatic past. Episode 6 was one of the most tragic because it seemed like everything was leading to us finally seeing the real Jax who knows how to be friends. But you remember how all of that ended. Kinger was once again highlighted as an amazing psychologist. The importance of C&A was hinted at, and the friendship between Gangle and Zubul was basically locked in.
He's a therapist,
In
too.
episode 7, the characters started getting even closer. Jax's past was revealed even more. It seemed like the characters were about to escape any moment. However, all of it turned out to be another fun adventure from Kane, which was, to put it mildly, not received very well. This moment became a turning point because after it we were shown just how cruel Kane can be, learned a lot about C&A, and after all these events the system deleted Kane. Then the characters learned the truth
Well, not really. I mean, King deleted him.
about who they really are, and after that, one of the saddest events in the history of the digital circus happened.
Yeah. That was hard to see, but you know, yeah.
2017 became the most eventful year in the history of the digital circus, and this event played a huge role in that. The most painful part is that Jax was just one tiny step away from avoiding it. However, his inner walls didn't let him simply open up and honestly discuss everything that was bothering him with Pomni. The show creators didn't leave us without emotional scenes because inside Jax's mind, we finally saw the real Jax.
It's too late.
Yeah.
I did this to myself. There's no coming back from this.
Then talk to me now.
Yeah. Remember this.
After that, the digital circus changed forever, and Kane's return played a huge role in this because he was able to free himself from the anger inside him by removing the blue AI from himself. Happy days, the truth about their human versions being revealed, the eternal memory of the abstracted, all of this became part of the new era of the digital circus where everyone lives in harmony, peace, and mutual understanding. There are no more secrets, no hatred, nothing left that could make this place a digital prison. At the beginning of the video, I promised to tell you my thoughts on how events could unfold after this. In a recent
The Grinch stole Christmas dinner gathering at the end. That's what this was.
Q&A Gooseworks revealed several interesting details. New characters can still enter the digital circus because all they need to do is put on the headset and stay in it for a little while, and also that the digital circus will exist as long as there is electricity in the building where the main computer is located or until something destroys it. I can assume that from 2017 to 2057, everything in the digital circus will be fine. Many new characters will appear. Unfortunately, some of them will turn into abstracted monsters, and it is very possible that someone from the current cast will also become this horrifying creature. Maybe the characters will try to return the already abstracted ones to their normal form, but doing that will be almost impossible. Their story will finally come to an end in 2057, which is a symbolic year for the universe of the digital circus when something happens to the abandoned C&A office and the very computer storing all of this gets destroyed. As always, I'll be waiting for all of you in the comments and
I can't believe they're actually.
see you soon.
I mean, damn, that's an open door. That is an open door. I don't know how I feel about that. I think I'm very satisfied the way it ended, and just leave it alone. Maybe go in another direction now. You know, a whole new series, because clearly the creators of this, I mean, brilliant. Straight up brilliant. Animation, the story, the animation, the suspense, the questions, the confusion, everything was just amazing. And I don't know if I would touch this. I really don't know. I would stop and I would just, I don't know, just with animation like that, you can go in any direction you want. Just think of a new storyline that has nothing to do with this and do it. And I guarantee it'll blow up too. Especially if you put down there like, oh, the creators of Amazing Digital Circus just did a whole new thing. Having nothing, people lose their minds. Then absolutely go check it out. So I don't know. I'm very satisfied the way this show ended, and in my opinion, I think we should leave it alone. Enjoy it. And this was very informative. There's definitely a couple things in there that I had missed. Yeah, or just completely forgotten about. Good stuff, man. This show was amazing. It really was. Anyway, I'm sure this helped somebody out. I mean, I had already forgotten their ages. Although I kind of had an idea, because at the last, after episode 9, at the end, they showed the real lives of them, and you kind of had an idea of what their age group was. But all right, no, there you go. Good stuff. All right, basically the storyline from episode 1 to 9, all breezed through in 13 minutes. How about that? Take care. Peace out. Have a good night.